Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ranking Different Lines. Today, we're looking at Dart Tag. This line is pretty small, to be honest. We got 13 blasters to see where they land. And once again, Dart Tag is before my time. I don't think I ever owned a a Dart Tag blaster when it first came out. So I'm just going off of my own preferences. So, too bad. And let's just get to the rankings, shall we? These things. Just why? I just realized, why is the green one longer than the orange one? These things, the plunger tubes stuck outside of the blaster, which little kids could jam their fingers because it would slam back in. And these were just awful. Awful for even Dark Tag standards. It's pretty much just a reskin. And these things are bad. They're worse than the original, and the original had the smallest handle possible. At least that one was comfy. These aren't. These are just dumb. These even have a better chance of slamming your hand into the damn plunger tube because how it's shaped. These are bad. These are really dang bad. Iron sights, though, I'll give the iron sights something, but that's it. 13, the crossfire. Least it holds 5 extra darts. I'll give it that. But this thing is supposed to be, you can actually mount this thing onto a blaster, which is really cool, but it's still not worth mounting it on a blaster. But it's cool that it lets you do that, because this thing, power is just awful, not there. 2-finger trigger once again, which is pretty nice, to be honest with you. Handle is pretty weird. I kind of like how the little front where the trigger is, how it kind of bends like that. I think it's kind of cool. The shape of this blaster, I don't mind. It's kind of futuristic, kind of tech thing. But its only good thing is you can mount it on a blaster. But even then, it sucks. So that's why it's 12th. 11th. Now you gotta hear me out on this one. The speed load 6. Even when I used it with the actual darts you're supposed to use it with, it's still jammed. This thing, to me, is just a jamming nightmare. It holds 6 rounds in an internal magazine that you load them, and it's the old school Whistler things, Dart Tag darts, and it's decent. Handle's awesome. The designs of the Dart Tag blasters are some of my favorite designs ever. This smooth body with the yellow, they're just great. With the Dart Tag little target thing on the side, they're awesome. But this thing, jamming issues, a lot of jamming issues. Handle, like I said, is amazing. The prime, little sticky here and there, but it's pretty good. Trigger, pretty good too. This is just a pretty good blaster that has just a lot of jamming issues. That's its biggest issue. At 10 is the Sharp Shot. The Sharp Shot, I own this one. Now, anyways, I own this one. And in my opinion, this is the strongest reverse plunger tube blaster there is. Because this thing, you can actually get it to hit some decent performance. I'm talking 80s. You can't really get better than 80s with the reverse plunger tube unless you're buying a full metal kit. But those are well since gone. But this guy, awesome handle, awesome prime, great trigger. Holds 3 shots and one in the barrel. It's, again, these are just one-shot blasters, except the 6th one. But this guy is just such a nice blaster. Really easy to load. It has a kind of flared area where to load it, and love the look of this guy. This guy is awesome. That's why it is 10. At 9 is the Fury Fire, or whatever this thing is. This thing, I actually really do like this thing. It holds 10 rounds in a cylinder type thing, and this is one of my favorite priming, like, pump grips in all of Nerf. I love how basic it is. I love the round shape at the front. I just really love the design of this blaster. The iron sights are amazing. The handle, pretty okay. A little blocky. Trigger, trigger's alright. But it holds 10 rounds. It is not powerful whatsoever, but at least you got that capacity. I don't know if it was mine. Mine's broken now, but in the past, when I used it, it literally did not go more than, like, I think, like 20 feet was its max range, if that. I think mine might have just had a worn out spring. So this thing might have more power than I think it does, but I'm going to keep it where it is. It's 10 rounds, pump action. Still really good. No slam fire. I don't even think slam fire. No, slam fire was a thing, I believe, at this point. But yeah, this thing just very underpowered, in my opinion. And here we go. This guy. I swear this thing has slam fire. Or maybe not. I think it has slam fire though. The Quick 16, exactly how it sounds. Holds 16 rounds, same as the 6th one. You have to use the dart tag darts as its best. But I've seen someone actually fully overhaul this thing, firing, I think it was elites at a good like 85 FPS, which is crazy. The look of this guy is not for me. I think the handles are a little bit chonky, but they're still good handles. Trigger, amazing. And yeah, I just don't like how it kind of has that like tube thing on the back. This really should have came with a stock. I don't know why. Nerf, bring it back. Bring it back with a stock. It's time to re-release Dart Tag. But yeah, 16 rounds, pump action, might be, whatever I said. Whatever. But yeah, 16 rounds, pump action, pretty dang good. 16 rounds, that's hard to beat. And this was just a fun blaster, easy to reload, everything. Still has jamming issues, that's for sure, but I think it's less than the Quick 6. I mean, the 6th one. I forget the name already. Ugh. But yeah. Still jamming issues, that's why it's 8th. At 7 is the Mag Strike. I'm pretty sure this is just a reskin of the Mag Strike. But this guy is still great. Clip fed. If you had more of those clips, this thing would be awesome. 2-stage trigger. You pump it up. It's air pressure. You pump it up, pull the trigger, fires 10 rounds on full auto. There's a nice little stock area with the black tube where its air tank is. And it's just not bad. It's just, you could always take the field with this. Heck, if you had enough clips, you could take this thing to the field today and it would still be decent. Yes, you would be in close range combat, but this thing would still be pretty decent. At 6. Say what you will about this guy, but this guy, I have owned, I think, 4 of them at one point. I broke all of them. Man, where did the times go when you could walk to a thrift store and find one of these on every shelf? The Hyperfire is just, I think, a pretty good blaster. 10 rounds of capacity. Top prime. Handles are weird, but they work. And a 2-stage trigger. Pretty decent performance. Like, what more do you need? This thing just rocked. It worked well. I mean, I would use this. Like, you can mod this thing. It works. So, like, what I'm doing right now is why I had 4 is I scrapped them for their cylinders, and I still haven't used their cylinders. I want to find another one of these guys to at a thrift store to make a 100 dart challenge video with it, but haven't seen any of them since like what 2017. Where did the times go? At 5 is the Swarm Fire. Awesome blaster. This is electronic spring powered blaster, and this thing is awesome. I love the look of this thing. This thing looks intimidating. Like the very first time I saw this in a YouTube video, my first thought was this was just a shotgun. It just fired everything out at once, which is not the case. It is very slow, but slow full auto that still works. You can take the stock off, which is interesting. I don't know why, because without the stock it kind of looks bad. But it works. Handle, it's alright. Trigger, it's alright too. This guy's heavy, 20 rounds in slow full auto. It's really fun. You could even modify it to hit a little bit harder. I modified one of mine, ended up breaking it, but stuff happens. But yeah, the look, the feel, this guy's just a fun blaster. Electronic, 20 rounds, you load in the front. Really easy to reload this guy. And it's just cool looking. Like, come on. That's why it's 5th. At 4 is the Snapfire 8. Why is this only at 4? I have a few reasons. Actually, I have a story. I picked this guy up at Toys R Us, brand new, in the box for $4 in 2016. I don't know why. I guess it was just in the back for years, and they put it on the shelf. And I was like, I want this thing. It was only $4. It was crazy. But even so, even with mine brand new, it worked, and then it stopped working even though I just didn't touch it at all. I mean, it still works, but it has revolver issues, removing its 8-round revolver. And it's a good blaster, but the trigger is just terrible. It's one of the worst triggers possible, but they kind of have to do it. If you don't know how this thing works, is you pull the trigger and it fires. So you don't have to do anything else. It's spring powered. Well, tension spring powered, I think it is. I don't remember. But with just the chance of this thing breaking is just so high, I can't put it higher than 4. It is an awesome blaster. Still, that sleek design, which is awesome. The weird like tip on the back is interesting. I don't know why it's like that, but to each to be their own. But yeah, how it works is that little round part on the bottom, you turn that, you can either turn it to power or to speed. And speed means it shoots awful, but you can fire it faster. And power means it will fire farther, but it's harder to pull that trigger. So that's why I put this guy at 4. Still, an amazing, amazing blaster, but the chances of breaking are too high to put it any higher. At 3, this guy is awesome. This was the first time we saw this guy, and they nailed it. This guy is great. One shot, yes, but holds 1, 2, 3, 4 onboard capacity, and this guy's look is just awesome. The look of this guy, I think, is just insane. This guy looks so cool. Trigger's still a little blocky. I mean, handle still a little blocky. Trigger, it's alright. It's alright. The prime, everything, the sights are just amazing. You can mod this thing to hit insanely hard. Like I have a few of these I modified. I think my strongest hits My strongest hits right around, I think, 100 FPS. And this guy is just cool. They nailed it. The power of dart tag is this guy right here. This guy hits so hard compared to anything else, and it's just awesome. It holds 3 up front with 1 in the barrel. Well, 3 onboard capacity up front, 1 in the barrel, and then 1 in the stock. I mean, sorry, what's with my mind today? Sorry, the handle. And this guy, great blaster. If you ever find one of these, always pick it up. It's completely worth it. Really good one-shot blaster. Now at 2, the Speed Swarm. Again, sleek. That sleek design, nerf. Bring it back, come on. Why not? Handle amazing. Trigger, pretty good. And this was 10 rounds of full auto spring power goodness. Another electric blaster, 10 rounds. Was awesome. It's pretty small for what it is. Like, Captain Xavier made a shoulder mount of it, and I thought that was so awesome, so cool. And this is just a great blaster. The other one was really big and bulky, the 20 round one, but the 10 round one is really close to being a pistol. A little bit too big for a pistol, but it's close. You could holster this guy. This is in the middle ground of a main and a secondary, though. It's that weird mash of the two. And it even has a little loop on the back to connect it to, like, a Vandalier or something. It's just great. They nailed it. This guy, awesome. You could mod it. You can still use it to today. Is just an awesome blaster. They made one in Rebel. Ever find one of these, worth picking up. It's just awesome. 10 rounds. Yes, 10 rounds is not a lot, but easy to reload. And it's just awesome. This was the pinnacle of dart tag, I think, anyways. But what could possibly be number 1? Well, it's just the reskin of the Fire Strike. I mean, come on. This is the Fire Strike. Like, this is awesome. You want power, you can get it with the Fire Strike. Awesome handle. Pretty bad trigger, to be honest. But it works. Two rounds of onboard capacity with 1 in the chamber. It's a one-shot blaster. Rear prime. Even more power you can get out of this guy. This guy is insane. And to be honest, if I was ever in those dart tag competitions, I would be running this guy. Just because I really don't need anything else. And with that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.